Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome back to another explainer where we take these massive, complex financial concepts and basically break them down into structured, actionable insights that you can actually use in your day-to-day life. Today, we're looking at a pretty fascinating blueprint. We are diving into the habits of a community that is historically known for this extraordinary ability to build quiet, generational wealth. We're talking about building real, permanent wealth instead of just, constantly chasing the appearance of being rich. We've distilled all these insights into a 10-to-1 countdown of essential financial habits that can absolutely transform your financial life.
Now, to really wrap our heads around this mindset, I want you to picture a scene for a second. There's a modest shop, and parked outside is an old, maybe slightly battered Maruti 800. Just a very basic, totally inexpensive car. But inside that shop is the owner, a guy with a super quiet demeanor and a bank balance of exactly 4.7 crore rupees. Now, one day, a neighbor looks at that old car, looks at his booming shop, and asks, "Brother, you work so hard. Why on earth don't you buy a better car?" And the shop owner, he just smiles silently. Doesn't explain a thing. Why? Well, because that smile hides a deeply ingrained financial philosophy that we are about to unpack together.
All right, so let's kick things off with phase 1, the frugal foundation. Here, we're covering habits 10, 9, and 8. Coming in at number 10, we've got stealth wealth. Truly wealthy people know that looking wealthy, it's incredibly expensive. But actually being wealthy is surprisingly cheap. Real wealth is invisible. It's the old car. It's the simple clothes. Get this, there was a fascinating study on American millionaires that showed 71% of them drive cars valued under the equivalent of 3 lakh Indian rupees. No way, right? But the rule here is just simple. Put your money where it grows, not where it shows.
Moving right along to habit number 9, putting your money to work. Listen, every single rupee you own absolutely needs to have a purpose. Keeping your money just sitting idle in a basic savings account, that is essentially dead money. It is actively losing value to inflation every single day. Instead, you want that money working for you. It needs to be in high-yield fixed deposits or liquid funds. The rule here is actually super striking. If your money isn't working for you, then you are working for your money. It really is that simple.
So that brings us to habit number 8, which is honestly a real game changer for impulse control, the 48-hour rule. This is a mandatory waiting period for any significant purchase over, say, 3,000 rupees. Why? Well, because decisions made when you're super excited almost always cost you way more than decisions made in a state of calm. So whether it's a flash sale or some limited time offer, you wait 2 days. Period. And what's absolutely amazing is that after 48 hours, 90% of those sudden, I need this right now impulses, they just vanish. You realize you didn't actually need it at all.
Moving right into phase 2, protecting your wealth. Let's look at habits 7, 6, and 5. Habit number 7 is often called the death of debt. And honestly, it boils down to one ruthless but totally necessary rule. Only lend what you can gift. This is just an incredibly honest social rule. Let's be real. When you lend money to friends or family expecting it back, you are playing a very dangerous game. More often than not, you end up losing both the money and the relationship. So the mindset here is to only hand over what you can comfortably write off as a gift. If they pay you back, hey, it's a bonus. But if they don't, your relationship survives totally intact. Which leads us straight into habit number 6. Keep raises a secret.
Okay, so trace the steps here with me. Step 1, you get a salary raise or big promotion. Step 2, you keep it an absolute secret for 6 months. Seriously, no social media posts, no flashing a new phone upgrade, no lavish parties. Why? Because the exact second people know you make more money, social and family expectations instantly shoot up. So, step 3 is where the magic actually happens. You silently invest that entire difference in your pay. True, quiet wealth literally starts with 6 months of absolute silence. And to actually pull all this off, you absolutely need habit number 5. Be your own accountant. I know, it sounds a little boring, but once a month, you must sit down and track your income, your expenses, and your net worth. Look, banks, investors, and successful businesses, they do this religiously. It's really only everyday individuals that tend to skip it. Remember the old saying, what isn't measured isn't managed? If you don't track it, you are always going to wonder where your money magically disappeared to at the end of every single month.
Now we're entering phase 3, the multipliers. This is where the magic really happens with habits 4, 3, and 2. Habit number 4 is basically a golden rule in this community. Never touch the principal. Or as traditional thinking goes, never break the root. Your principal amount is sacred. And when you look at the math, it is staggering. Let's say your initial investment grows to a 25 lakh corpus over 10 years, as long as it's left untouched. But if you panic and withdraw just 5 lakh early for an emergency, you break the compounding chain, and you might only end up with 7.5 lakh. Think about that. That is a 17.5 lakh opportunity cost just for one single early withdrawal. The lesson? The principle is the seed that grows the tree. If you eat the seed, you're never getting the tree. All right, habit number 3 is what we call having a second shop. Basically, never rely solely on just one income stream. Even a really small, seemingly insignificant side income, let's say it's just 2,000 rupees a month from some freelancing, consulting, or even dividends, that compounds massively over time. Over 10 years, that super boring little trickle actually grows to nearly 4.6 lakh. The rule of thumb here is that your first job feeds you, but your second income stream buys your freedom. Boring money buys an exciting life, for sure. Then we have habit number 2, and this is a total mindset shift. Tax first, spend later. Most of us, we invest whatever happens to be left over after we've already spent our salary. Well, this habit flips that entirely on its head. You invest before the salary even hits your hands. By maximizing your tax brackets and taking full advantage of deductions, you are essentially earning a guaranteed risk-free return. Think about it. The absolute best investment return you can possibly get is the money that never went to the government in the first place. And that brings us to the climax. Habit number 1, the ultimate wealth mindset.
Habit number 1 is continuous learning. The whole idea here is, yes, invest your money in the market, but invest your mind in books. A true wealth builder always remains a student. Spending your money on a finance book, an online course, or hey, even just buying a Meg or a cup of coffee, those aren't expenses, right? They are high return investments. I mean, Warren Buffett spends 80% of his time reading. The most legendary investors out there study way more than the market does. Education is what transforms you from a confused investor into a committed one. And the return on a well-invested mind, that never crashes.
So let's loop back to our opening story for a second. The 4.7 crore Maruti 800 secret. Why didn't that shop owner justify his old car to his neighbor? Well, because he completely understood everything we just talked about. He knew that true, quiet wealth isn't about proving anything to anyone. The people who understand this, they just get it. And those who don't, you simply can't explain it to them in a quick conversation on the street. It is a quiet, invisible, and permanent state of being. So this whole blueprint really illustrates how you can shift from just looking wealthy to actually being wealthy. So my question to you right now is this. Which of these 10 habits are you going to start today? Are you going to implement the 48-hour rule, or maybe start tracking your net worth this month? I want you to commit to just one right now to jumpstart your own blueprint for generational wealth. Keep learning, keep building, and I will catch you in the next explainer.